In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a loading dot animation using CSS. Let's get started. So to get started, I'm opening up a blank CodePen project, and I'm going to show you the whole tutorial from beginning to end. To start off, the HTML for the project is pretty simple. I'm going to start by writing the basic HTML tags, and then include a body tag. And within body, I'm going to place 5 divs with a class of dot. So this is all the HTML that we will need for the project, and the rest will be completed in CSS. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some CSS so the dots actually appear on the page. So first I'm going to reference that class of dot, and then specify a particular height and width for these dots. I'm going to set a border radius and a background color so we can actually see them on the screen. When I do, I see the 5 dots on the screen, one after another. I'm going to want these dots to be next to each other horizontally instead of lined vertically. So to do that, I'm going to call the body tag, and I'm going to have several parameters here. I'm going to change it to display flex, so that way they're side by side. And then I'm also going to put the content in the center by writing justify content and then placing it in the center. Next, I'm going to want to add a little bit of spacing between each element. So in that dot class, I'm going to set a margin to 2 rem. So now they're a little bit more spaced out from one another. Now I'm going to start to set up for the animation work. So initially in this dot class, I'm just going to write animation, set it to an animation called up, which we will create, set a particular time duration, so I'll set 1.5 seconds, a type of curve, so for now I'll just put linear, and then I know I'm going to want it to alternate going forward and backward and then forward and backward, so I'm going to write alternate, reverse, so it plays backwards and forwards, and then infinite, so it plays forever and it never stops. Next, I'm actually going to define this animation called up. So to do that, I'm going to write at keyframes, and then the word up, and then specify the keyframes that we want to have here. So at the 0%, I'm going to specify certain values and characteristics of these dots, and then I'm going to specify certain values and characteristics at the 100% mark, and that will make the dots actually animate. So at that 0% mark, I'm going to want it to transform in the Y direction, so I'm going to write translate Y, and then set a Y position. When I do, I can see it's fluctuating between 2 states. And for the 100%, I'm going to grab this and have it fluctuate between 100 and 200. So right now I have these dots all moving in the same kind of direction at the same point in time, but I'm going to want them to actually have different animations depending on which one it actually is in the sequence. So the first, third, and fifth ones, I want them to move up initially and have a particular animation, and the second and the fourth values, I want them to move down and have a different kind of animation. So I'm actually going to duplicate this keyframe animation and give it a different name. So I'm going to call this one down and reverse the Y interactions. Next, I'm going to specify which dots I want to have which animation sequence. So to do that, I have to use the concept of nth-child. So nth-child refers to which child it is in the actual sequence. So this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and it refers to which div it is in the HTML document. So I'm going to write div nth-child. Now if it is an odd child, meaning an odd number, so 1, 3, or 5, I want it to have this animation. So I'm going to cut that and place it here. And if I want it to be an even child, so 2 or 4, I want it to have actually the other interaction, the down animation. So you can already see the 1, 3, and 5 are animating and the second and the fourth are not, because we didn't set an animation to that even div. So I'm going to grab these, copy it, and then paste it, and then write even. So then the second and the fourth one will animate as well. but I'm going to change this from the up interaction to the down interaction. So when I do, now it's actually fluctuating, so the first, third, and fifth are going up initially, and the second and the fourth are going down in an infinite loop. To make this feel more like a bouncy animation, I'm going to actually remove this linear curve and modify it. So I'm going to write cubic bezier, and then specify some particular values. And you can see how that really changes the feel of the animation. I'm going to copy that and paste it for the down animation as well. Next, I'm going to add some color effects so it actually changes the colors as well. So for this up animation, I'm going to specify a particular background color that I like. And then when it's at the 100% mark, I'm going to modify it to another color. So now these dots are animating between a purple to a pink. Next, I'm going to apply a different color treatment for the other alternating dots. So now the even dots are alternating from a darker blue to a lighter blue. So just to review what we did, first we created a body tag that had 5 divs within it. Each div had a class of dot, and in dot we specified a particular height, width, border radius, and a margin. We can actually remove this color red because we don't need it anymore. After that, we decided to make the body a flex, so that way the elements are placed one after another with a justified content of the center, so that way it's center aligned. After that, to specify the different kinds of animations, we use the nth child of the div to specify a certain interaction for the odd number divs and a certain interaction for the even divs. They have the same timing of animation, the same type of curve, and the alternate reverse with an infinite loop. But one animation sequence has an up interaction first and the other interaction has a down interaction first. Then using keyframes, we specified an up interaction with a translate of the Y direction and specified a particular background color for each state. For the down interaction, we specified the opposite Y direction initially and with a different set of background colors. So that's how I make loading dot animations using CSS. Please let me know if you have any questions about the topic and subscribe to stay up to date with my latest content. Thanks for watching!